Hi, so in this series, this section of the Rhythmic Undulations workshop, we're going to look first at the Arabic Basic or Rhythmic Undulation Basic. We'll look at what the vintage flavor was and what's fallen by the wayside, and some of it for good reason, and what you might want to incorporate in your interpretation of the music, or just take back to your studios or your troupe, so that you've got a little, more tools to work with. One thing to remember, and I say this in every workshop and every class, is that in the early days of FatChance Belly Dance, of which I was one of the early members, we had about we had the same four basic family of fast steps, right? We had rhythmic undulation, swivel step, pivot bump, and shimmy. And then in slow, we had maybe 4 to 6 movements, and how we embellished them was how we were able to extend the movement. So a simple example of that is if we are in our rhythmic undulation, just a simple arm sweep, right? An arm sweep is a variation, or a pivoting with it. Yep, that's a way to create variety with still using the same core step, the rhythmic undulation step. One of the vintage versions that has been put on the shelf, and for good reason, there are 2 of them that I'm going to show you. But it's, this is kind of part history lesson, so I think it's really important for us to know the evolution of our dance. One of the, I'm pulling up my legs, my pants, so you can see my legs. One of the versions that has fallen by the wayside is ball, flat, ball, flat. So ball of the foot, flat. So ball and then flat on the right front foot. So this has fallen by the wayside, and we don't do that anymore. We haven't done that since the early 1990s. So this was one of the versions that has gone by the wayside. What we used to also do with that, though, was arms would be down. Well, they could move from overhead to down, and we typically rotated, did a pivot with the ball, flat, ball, flat. Now that was done a lot in chorus, and one of the concepts of chorus that has also been put on the shelf, and for good reason, is using movements in the chorus and pivoting while in the chorus, the whole chorus pivoting together. Later on in this workshop, I'm going to share with you a short clip that I pulled out from my copy of FatChance Live that shows the entire spectrum in one short, beautiful little clip, the entire spectrum of movements, vintage style, that we no longer do. And one of them is this up and down. And we used to do it pivoting in chorus. If you can imagine, you have your half moon shape of chorus, and you have your feature dancers, and it's just a little too much to look at. People turning their backs, people turning their fronts. I mean, you might find it very beautifully aesthetically pleasing, and you might choose to do it. That is absolutely up to you. It's the flock of birds concept. So if the chorus leader turns over her left shoulder with her hands down here, she's just moving in a pivot very slowly, honoring the beat, until she comes back, he or she comes back to facing the center dancers, facing normal chorus, forward-facing position. So that's one of the vintage movements that has gone by the wayside. Another one that's gone by the wayside is combining the rhythmic undulation. Now we just do it on the balls of the feet. Combining the rhythmic undulation with a rib cage circle. So you can imagine. I'm glad this one also went by the wayside. We used to use this, however, and you're going to see it on the clip that's later on in the workshop. When we passed out around our basket, our tip baskets, two movements we used when we were getting tips. One was either the shimmy, because you can hold your basket over your head or down here and ask for offerings. And the other movement that we used during our tip song was the rhythmic undulation. And because we would be holding a basket, let me grab a basket. Because we'd be holding a tip basket, this kind of made more sense. Rhythmic. But as you can see, it gets a little, it's not as clean and clear of a cue from the follower, but it is really cute, and it is something that would really work well at a Renaissance fair or something like that. But that's the other vintage version of rhythmic undulation that's been put on the shelf. Obviously, you can dust it off and bring it into your studio if you so desire. You have to be really clean though with Arabic and rib, Arabic and rib, Arabic and rib, because we always had the Arabic and the hip twist, which we'll go over a little bit of the difference in one of the future segments. So those are the two versions that are put on the shelf. So join me for the next section.